Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 20th City Council meeting. Ms. Hilberg, will you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Councilman De La Garza?
I am present.
Councilman Kidder?
Here.
Councilwoman Butler?
Present.
Councilwoman Scott?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Young?
Here.
Councilman Loughran?
Here.
And Mayor Crocker.
Here. If you would, please stand for the pledges and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Again, welcome everyone. We will start out this evening with announcements and reminders. Mr. Garza.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. I do have a few announcements for you this evening. We want to remind the public that all non-emergency city offices will be closed on Monday, September 2nd in observance of Labor Day. Offices will reopen at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, September 3rd. The Victoria Public Library will be closed on this day. However, the Riverside Golf Course will remain open. Trash yard waste and recycling scheduled for, there's a misspelling on here. Will be collected as usual. They try to get me, you know. The Mayor's Youth Council is open to high school juniors and seniors who reside in Victoria County and are interested in learning more about civic and community service. Applications, including a letter of recommendation for the 2024-2025 Mayor's Youth Council, will close on Saturday, August 31st. For more details, go to victoriatx.gov/youth council or contact Special Projects Manager Keisha Smith at 361-485-3030. On behalf of the Parks Department, the Parks and Recreation Commission is accepting applications for appointment for 3 positions on the Parks Commission. Applications are due by September 4th to the City Secretary's office and can be found at victoriatx.gov/boards commissions or at the City Secretary's office. On behalf of our Convention and Visitors Bureau, Discover Victoria is seeking volunteers and sponsors to help make the city's first ever Tejas Fest a success. The Free Community Festival will be October 4th through 5th at the newly expanded De Leon Plaza in downtown Victoria. To sign up as a sponsor, underwriter, or individual volunteer, please visit discovervictoriatexas.com. Volunteer groups should contact Discover Victoria Texas at volunteer@victoriatx.gov or call 361-485-3118. For more information on sponsorship or underwriting packages, please contact the Main Street program at 361-485-3120. And finally, on behalf of Environmental Services, we want to invite community members to participate in Keep Victoria's Beautiful 4th Annual Citywide Fall Sweep that'll take place on Saturday, September 21st from 8 to 10 a.m. In partnership with TxDOT's Adopt a Highway program, teams will be cleaning up at least 8 miles along our roadways. Individuals and groups are encouraged to register at victoriatx.gov/KVB in advance to plan for different volunteer locations around the community.
Thank you, Mr. Garza. Then item B2 is public and employee recognitions. We'll go ahead and jump into the first one. We have quite a few special guests in the house tonight. The Victoria Northeast Senior League baseball team is here this evening after their historic season, making it to the College World Series, or the College World Series, to the that's next, guys. All right, we're expecting it, making it to the World Series. So we wanted to congratulate them, and we have a proclamation for them this evening. And Ms. Hilberg, if you would please read that for us.
Yes, sir. Whereas the sport of baseball expresses the heart and character of America for many years has been recognized as our nation's pastime, and whereas Little League Baseball is a program of service to the youth of our community dedicated to teaching sportsmanship and the competitive will to win, as well as furthering physical fitness and well-being through helpful community activity to provide valuable training for the participants and entertainment for the spectators. And whereas the dedication and sportsmanship of the team, coaches, and parents has proved to be rewarding to all involved. And whereas the Northeast Senior League baseball team has achieved a level of success that few teams throughout the state are able to accomplish by winning the Texas East Senior League District 27 Championship, the Texas East Senior League Section 4 Championship, and the Texas East Senior League State Championship. And whereas the Northeast team earned the privilege of competing at the Senior League World Series by winning the Southwest Senior League Championship and placing fifth in the nation for teams in the Senior League. And whereas the City of Victoria is honored to have such great athletes and young men representing our community. Now therefore, I, Duane Crocker, Mayor of the City of Victoria, designate August 20th, 2024 as Victoria Northeast Senior League Baseball Team Day in Victoria, Texas, and congratulate the team on an awesome season and wish them continued success in life and on the field.
Few words here. Talented group of men that we have here, boys, all from Victoria Titans baseball. We put a lot of work in this with what April just mentioned, all the tournaments. Hour and a half drive, 2-hour drives each night, playing 3-4 games out of the week. A lot of work and support from the parents too of the players. It was a team effort from day one. We knew what kind of group we had here, talented. Our main goal was get to the World Series, and we achieved that here. It's been 30 years in the making, but we actually did that here. It's a talented group we have here. We have a lot of talent here in Victoria. Hopefully this gets a spark for some future kids to get there. So thank you for recognizing the team. We appreciate everything, Victoria.
And I'll just say real quick as well, it was an amazing, long summer. But the greatest group of boys I've ever coached, ever seen in my life. They put in so much hard work and dedication, and I hope this grows this for the future Little League boys that come up. They have something to look up for, look up to and see forward. So I can't thank this group of boys as much thanks as I can. I had the greatest time of the summer myself as a coach, and to watch these boys grow, it was amazing. So thank you again, guys.
Well, congratulations, guys. Well earned, and what a great season. Appreciate y'all being here. Thanks.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, with that then, item 2, again, Mr. Garza, do we have any other public and employee recognitions this evening?
We do not for this evening.
Okay. Then I will move on to item B3, which is items from council. Does anyone have anything this evening? I have one that I just wanted to ask about. I know we've had a recent issue at Ben Jordan and Airline with the water leak again. It seems like that intersection and water leak seems to be a problem child. So I asked Mr. Gill if maybe he could just help explain a little bit of what's going on and the challenges that we face there.
Okay, first I would like to commend our Streets Division and the Utilities Division. They both combined forces to fix the leak and then to repair the street and backfill. So I want to commend them. They did really a wonderful job. They worked from 7 in the morning until about midnight that next night. So they did a good job, and the street is patched. They finished the patching today. And it's not, there it goes. I'm going to go over a little bit of what's out in that area. As you'll see, the T where those two blue lines intersect and with the T, that's Airline and Ben Jordan. There's a 20-inch cast iron main that goes up Ben Jordan from Airline all the way to Sam Houston. Then to the east is a 24-inch, but mostly 20-inch. There's a little bit of 24, but it's mostly 20. And that goes from Ben Jordan all the way to Laurent. And then there's a 12-inch cast iron that goes from Ben Jordan east to Ben Wilson. So there's a lot of cast iron out there. And then there's also some cast iron around Plant 3. A little background, those cast iron water mains, 1952 to 1956. We've seen the dates on them, so they're old. And when they break, they don't break a little bit, they split from end to end, and it's 20-foot sections, usually when they break. We've had 2 large breaks in the intersection, miscellaneous bell leaks, which is where it just leaks a little bit, but enough to be annoying in the other sections. Reason why they're doing that is when the ground it shifts when it gets really dry or really wet. That we've had a pretty good summer where it's consistently wet, and here it dried up a little bit. It started getting dry, that moisture dries up and it shrinks. Other factors that encourage those breaks is pressures increase during high demand periods. There is, again, still some cast iron within Plant 3 site. And the one thing I want to bring out is there's a 20-foot section of 20-inch cast iron main still under that intersection. And that, in that one piece, and it's south of where the break just occurred, but north of the break that happened about 2 years ago. So there's a little section, but in that section, there's an 8-inch gasoline line that literally crosses that water line, goes over it. And then there's also some valves, some T's we've got to deal with. And then it's also in that one joint, conflicts with storm sewer. So that one, we're crossing our fingers that one holds up, but we've got it in the plan to replace. Estimated cost, the airline, the 20-inch and 24-inch from Ben Jordan to Laurent, it's about 2,700 feet. Estimated cost is $2.6 million, and that's actually in the 2027 CIP. And that's where we could pick up that one joint in that intersection, get that out of the way. Then we have Ben Jordan 20-inch airline to Sam Houston. That's about 3,500 feet, and that's about $3.8 million. And then the airline 12-inch from Ben Jordan to Sam Houston, 2,750 linear feet at estimated cost of $2 million. And that's kind of the general area of what's out there cast iron wise.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Gill? No, thank you for kind of giving us an update on that. Obviously, you know, this is over $8 million fix, and so I'm glad to see that at least part of it is in our CIP, and it's an area we know we'll need to pay attention to. And I do want to echo what you said, that, you know, our folks did a fantastic job of getting out there. A lot of work in a short amount of time and getting it back open, and so
Great
kudos to
cooperative
them.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any other items from council? All right, then I will move into item B4, which is citizen communication. I have quite a few cards. The first one I have is Wilma Edwards. Good evening, Ms. Edwards. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm here, I'm representing two areas of Victoria. One is Silver City, and one is we call Under the Hill. What I come today to let you know, we need a building under the hill. I keep saying under the hill. I think most people say under the hill, but that's 1004 South Navarro. And I'm bringing attention to you. They tore that building down, and I'm gonna say by mistake, because it was a historical building. And when we took over the building, the Masonic Hall let us use the building, and we became a non-profit organization. And after that, everybody in Victoria that I knew of heard about us, and we redid the whole building. Everybody came in to help, even people from out of town. We put the building back in order. Only thing we didn't do, and was still in process of doing, was putting a roof on the building. So this young lady, I wanted her name, and I know Mr. Mike know her name. She came out and decided that we didn't need that, decided the building was it was in bad shape. And she came out and took a picture, and when she went to the board meeting with that picture, it showed there was a whole lot of trash out there. And they decided, because of that, they condemned the building. But the trash was not there because it was just trash. We was remodeling the building. We had people came in, we had painters. Everything needed to be done was done by the citizens of Victoria. We had windows put in, paint done, everything that we needed to keep the building going was done, donated by everybody. And I brought the cornerstone in let you know how long that building was there. They didn't try to help me get a historical plot or anything for that because it should have been notified as a historical building. That's what she's talking about. Yes, I don't know if he can see it or not, but he might want to take it so somebody can read it instead of me.
It's too heavy.
Right there. give it to him because he knows a little about it.
He's not that strong.
No. He want to. Would you like to read that for them? This is the building. This is what was left of the building. And you can see, you can just read it from your seat, sir. You don't read it from your seat.
Yeah, you want me to read it?
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Because we need to know the year and how long that building was there.
All right. So it says organized by Lovey Jones, October 6, 1932. Jim Cook, worshipful master. Marion D. Armstrong, secretary. Bernice Lewis, worthy matron. Queen Esther, chapter 188. Jesse Franklin, worthy matron. Good Esther, chapter 247. Leveling Stone by Honorable Claude Woods. 33-degree. Mason of Texas.
The main thing.
Yep, Grand Mason.
The main thing is the year, how long it was there. Did y'all see how long the building was there? And it went through all the storms. Every storm it did damage the building. That's how steady the building was. And I'm coming to ask y'all to, I know Mike has been working on this, and the city manager has not helped me. I'm going to say that because I never talked to him.
I just read it.
But they took some money before my time, and I was a member, and they charged a nonprofit organization taxes, and the tax was not supposed to be taxed. So this is how much money that the city, county, or whoever owes the Masonic Hall, because the Masonic Hall is the one that I can go on there and get back into the building. And if y'all have some questions, let me know, because this is a need. The people down there need clothes. People down there need everything. They need everything. We had gotten so far, we had a young man that would go out and help people, and we decided to name the building Southside Walmart. We were gonna get in trouble, but we didn't put that out. But we had clothes, everything they needed, we had it. And that was only from donations. And right now, they're bringing the clothes to my house. So please let me get a building and if you put the tax money back in there, we can use that money to build a building. And I appreciate y'all for listening, because they out there bothering me, you know, when we gonna get it? When I go to the stores, when we gonna get it? When we gonna do this? Because it's a need. It's really a need for the clothes and the people they don't just be living in that neighborhood, they come from all over the neighborhood, even from Crisis Kitchen.
Well, thank you, Ms. Edwards. You certainly appreciate it. And Mr. Etienne, I'll look forward to if you could get some additional information and you and I could visit on it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening.
All right. The next card I have is David Peters. Good evening, Mr. Peters.
Good evening. I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm just here to basically put my name in the hat for the Planning Commission. I am currently in the Buildings and Standards Commission, where I've learned to listen to the city's recommendations, and I've also learned to listen to the citizens. And they're outputting what they would like to hear and how we can help them with their things, and also to do the right thing and take the steps necessary. And so I'd be honored and privileged be a member of the Planning Commission, and I'm done.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate it. The next one I have is Ralph Gonzalez. Good evening, sir, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I as well have submitted my application for the Planning Commission. My name is Rafael Gonzalez. Most people know me as Ralph. And I'm just trying to put a face to the application, basically. I've always been curious about the city and how it operates, and more so in the last couple of years when I took the 3 courses sponsored by the city. And that really got the curiosity up. And thankfully, I was able to help out with the Bicentennial Committee also. And so that really got the interest up. A little bit of my background is I'm a 5-year retiree from Union Carbide and Dow. I did most of my background is in planning and logistics operations. I also did some international traveling, doing work with clients. So I think I'm a good team player, and looking forward to some of that. Some of my community involvement is I'm a 41-year core member of an annual toy drive that we do locally, the Industrial Workers Christmas Party. So 40 years strong of doing that. And then very active with the Victoria Police Academy alumni group. So, and then helping out with some of the nonprofits, the De Leon Club, CWV, and just the likes of, mostly with the nonprofits. So basically just looking for your consideration and your support. And whenever you're making that decision, let the chips fall where they fall. But I'm looking for that opportunity to learn and contribute. Thank you much.
Very good, thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Victor Mendoza. Good evening.
Good evening. Let's see, at least maybe 4 or 5 of you remember me from 3 years ago when I stood here seeking an appointment to the Planning Commission, which, you guys gracefully appointed me to that. And so I'm finishing my first 3-year term, and I'm seeking reappointment to the commission. We've done some good things, good working relationship. And here again, I seek your reappointment to serve another 3 years. I'm currently serving as the secretary for the Planning Commission. So I look forward to your approval. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next card is Mr. Harley Fisk. Good evening, Mr. Fisk. Welcome back.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. I will add to the group of people who have applied for a position on the Planning Commission. As you know, I am willing to be quite vocal about my opinions here in Victoria. I think it's a great city. Doesn't mean that it couldn't be better. I've been here for about 5 years. I missed Harvey. I was in Yoakum. We got very little of Harvey there. I did not miss COVID. I have had a multitude of different jobs, most of which taught me how to solve problems. And by looking at all of the facts, by looking at the law, in both the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, and determining what is the best course forward for the greatest number of people. So I just wanted to let you know, throwing my hat in the ring, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fisk. The next card is, I believe it's Ramiro Rodriguez. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. My name is Romero. I'm also here for the Planning Commissioner.
Can you lower the mic a little bit?
I'm a little short. I'm about 4'5", 4'7", something like that.
I didn't say that.
But can you lower it down? Okay, so I'm here because I want to get involved with the city. I do a lot of construction. I do a lot of getting into volunteering. I also did the government homes for the Hurricane Harvey. I did them all the way around, even in Houston, Weimar, Jasper, Texas. So I pretty much know, a little bit more about the how the city wants their house built, or how they want to help the community make it better, knock down these houses and build them up in 30 days. So also weatherization, we've done that. I have a business. It's Romero's Construction. So I do construction. I actually just got off a roof right now. It's hot, and I'm still hot. But I want to help my community. I wanted to make it better. I'm 31, so I also want to be a representation of other young men to come up and also and just give it a try. Hey, we all can do it. We all can make it happen, and also make the community better. Even with the having our community clean, having these homeless put somewhere to where we can don't have them out on the streets because they're everywhere. Just to make it all green, all well here in Victoria. I mean, make it beautiful. I'm willing to day and night study to get into this spot. I'm so anxious. I'm excited. Even though if I don't, I'm still gonna try, and I'm gonna continue to try because I'm not a quitter, and I'm a problem solver. I'm not a make problems. I solve the problems. So I've been here all my life. Actually, my father had just passed away back in 2016. Drunk driver crossing the street. Also, I want to make that also a priority because there's been a lot of that happening. Lights, or streets for the people. So yeah, so I'm here.
Great. Thank you for your input. Appreciate it. Mr. Vondera. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm Michael Vondro. I live at 2204 East North Street. I would like to thank the SWAT team and the Victoria Police Department. They arrested an alleged drug dealer on September the 22nd, 2023, and then got a grand jury indictment on May this year. And on August the 6th, he was sentenced to 5 years, and ever since the arrest, it's a lot more peaceful and quiet. So I appreciate those 3 police cars that came through, plus all the SWAT team and everything. And a lot of people don't know, but if you try to flush the drugs down the toilet, that's a 3rd-degree felony. It's called tampering with evidence. It's 2 to 10 years, So, a lot of people don't know that. So I'm giving them heads up, so they'll know, So if you have a little marijuana, you'd be better off not flushing it and just saying, hey, you got me, But I appreciate all the efforts and the special crimes unit busing the trailer park manager 3 times. There's plenty of work to be done at the trailer park. And also, the plumbers, I don't know if they went on strike, but they haven't been working Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And I know what that means when they're not working. That means Rick's on vacation or something, and he's not there to call him to come to work. But I wish someone could call him to come to work. They put some fence down, and it's made of rubber, and my mother tripped on it, and she hurt both her knees, and she hurt her ankle and both her eyes, and I took off work and took her to the eye doctor. But I would like for them to be more like safety orientated, and I would like them to finish it. The trailer park owner and the management has been dragging their feet on this project, and it seems like they have no intention of finishing it. But I wish someone, from the city of Victoria could take pictures of it, maybe the legal department, and send it, to the trailer park owner so he knows what's going on. I mean, he is a seasoned super lawyer, so he should be able to figure out how to get this accomplished. But I do want to thank the city of Victoria. There's several people involved in getting all this done. Appreciate it, and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Von. And then finally, I have one more card, Mr. Starkey, but I believe you're here with respect to the public hearing item C1. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Okay, then I'll hang on to this until we open that hearing then. Okay. So then that concludes citizen communications, and we will move into that particular item, item C1. Ms. Hilbert.
An ordinance vacating, closing, and abandoning the unimproved portions of Wolfram Street, Hunding Street, and Elsa Street in their entirety as they abut property owned by Chad Starkey in blocks 1, 3, and 4 of the Greens Edition in the city of Victoria in response to a petition of 100% of the adjoining landowners.
Hello, Ms. Fulgham.
Good evening. So I don't have a lot to say because the picture's, of course, always worth 1,000 words. But as you can see on the pictures, this is a request to abandon portions of Elsa Street, Hunding, and Wolfram as they abut those lots, or those blocks 1, 3, and 4. The original Greens Edition photo that you see does have the right-of-ways that are proposed to be abandoned, as well as all the property owned by Mr. Starkey highlighted in yellow. And so with this abandonment, if it's approved, he will be replatting all of that land into one single lot for agricultural use, which is a great way to eliminate lots that don't have improved right-of-ways or utilities to them. So we wholeheartedly support this request.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Fulgham. Any questions? All right, with that then, I will open the public hearing on item C1. Mr. Starkey?
I think she did a good job. So good evening, Mayor, Council. Again, my name's Chad Starkey, and I think she did a great job. I am the owner of 906 Gunther. I grew up and on this property. My grandfather owned it since the mid-'70s. He passed away in 2015. My uncle was keeping up with it. When Harvey came, he was overwhelmed, and I took over ownership and responsibility, maintenance, and the taxes. During this transaction, I was provided the plat, as you can see, was from 1919. There are 3 roads there that were never developed, or to my knowledge, were never developed. I don't live here on the property. I work in Houston, so I commute back and forth, 3-hour drive. So it's about 5 acres altogether, and it takes me bringing a tractor and trying to mow it. And like she said, I would love to put a fence up and use it for agriculture. There's actually neighbors that I've got to know pretty good, and opening it up to cattle to graze would help keep the mowing under control. I have cleaned up syringes, needles, tires, mattresses, junk, and even material that's thrown over the riverbank. I can't control it when I'm not there. So a fence would help deter or eliminate the dumping. Again, I have a good relationship with the neighbors. When somebody's out there, I get a call. But again, working in Houston, there's a little time for me to get here to take care of it. I hired a survey company to come out and identify property boundaries. This is when I realized that there's photos that I've given you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
My grandpa's structure is not all on his property. It's on the city right-of-way. And as a kid, I got my name and handprint and date in there. Again, I didn't know it was city property until about 2018. So with that being said, conveyance for the right-of-ways would allow me to fence it, continue to maintain the property while making my life, quality of life easier, and keeping the property and riverbank clean.
Very good. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to this item? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And Ms. Fulgham, one question. This property is within the floodplain, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. All right. I will entertain any motions in with respect to item C1.
Make a motion to approve item C1.
Second. I've got a motion and a second. All right, any discussion on item C1? All right, sensing none, then I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item C1 passes. Mr. Starkey, thank you for coming. I appreciate your comments. Thank you. All right, then, moving to section D then is a consent agenda. Ms. Hilberg.
Yes, sir. Item D1 is the adoption of minutes of the regular meeting held on August 6, 2024. Item D2 is a resolution approving professional services agreement with Gary Middleton for representation and consultation services related to municipal water supply in an amount of $24,000. Item D3 is a resolution approving the Golden Crescent Regional Advisory Council MOU for medical, mutual aid, equipment loans, and supply assistance.
Oh, thank you.
I move we adopt the consent agenda.
Second. All right, I've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, consent agenda passes. Then moving into item E1.
Item E1 is a resolution approving a services agreement with Sidon Martin's Emergency Group LLC to perform maintenance and repair on the city's fire apparatus and ambulances.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing well, thank you.
Great. Thank you. So I have a real quick presentation on Sidon Martin Emergency Group and a contract that we've kind of put together. The presentation will speak to both the first and second item on the action agenda. They're in conjunction. So Sidon Martin's Emergency Group is a group that we work with. They work on fire apparatus and ambulances. They're effectively the original equipment manufacturer's support group for those types of pieces of equipment. We have about 19 units that fit within their scope in our fleet, and frankly, they've been kind of falling behind on maintenance over the last several years. And so we started working with Sidon Martin to come up with a plan to try to get this back on track. Sidon Martin's been in business over 50 years. They specialize in fire truck and ambulance maintenance. They are OE dealer effectively, so they're able to get parts. They're able to get special service instructions, special service tools. So we're very excited to be working with them on this project. Real quick here, you can see a little bit of overview of what all they do. Collision center is very impressive for fire trucks. They are very hardy, so difficult to repair after accidents. Luckily, we don't have very many of those. They offer preventative maintenance services. In our contract that we have drafted here, the preventative maintenance portion of this contract is sort of a menu of items. The menu items have fixed pricing, so we do kind of know how many PMs and how many different services, such as brake jobs, we'll see throughout the year, which helps us estimate the total cost of this contract. We will have OE parts in stock in Victoria, Texas, so this contract effectively brings Sidon Martin to Victoria to work in our service location located on North Street. They will have designated area. They will have designated parts room. We're going to try to outfit them with as much of the equipment that we can. They'll be bringing some of their own. They'll also have a service truck in the area so that they can do remote work on site at fire stations, which we're very excited about. They also offer all of the testing needed to certify fire trucks for duty, such as pump testing. So real quick on the provisions of the contract, we will have ASE certified emergency vehicle technicians working here. I think we plan on having 2 full-time techs, fixed pricing for common maintenance item, OEM parts, expert knowledge of equipment and OEM support. They'll be able to communicate with the manufacturers of the trucks and get real-time advice on how to fix these units. The mobile service and the location at the service center. The second item on the action agenda is the lease agreement. It's basically a zero-sum lease agreement. It's like $1 a year lease, but it allows them to occupy our facility. And really the hope going forward with this is that the program is successful for us, but also for the region. I think if we, as in Victoria, can prove that there's a need here for these services, I think that we may see growth opportunities for ourselves and for Sidon Martin to be able to help with county and volunteer fire organizations in the area. So we're looking very forward to it. And that's it. And I have a couple of representatives here from Sidon Martin. Mr. John Harshman and Sean Wolf are here to help me answer any questions that you may have regarding the contract.
Thank you, Mr. Weller. Any questions? And I understand this work is currently being done at their facility in Corpus, is that correct?
That's correct, yes. We have the maintenance contract with Transdev. It used to be called First Vehicle Services, and it was under their purview to maintain this equipment. However, some of the items seem to be beyond their capability. And so when we get to that point, they will subcontract with Siddons Martin. And so they end up seeing a lot of our equipment as it is. And there was no contract rate for those services. It was pay-as-you-go kind of service funneled through Transdev. So you will also see soon some changes to the Transdev contract to remove these vehicles from the contracted rate. So our rate with them will change in the near future.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes.
Question. So they'll serve other entities from this, from the leased
They could
area.
They could going forward. I think that the intention is that they would serve Victoria only now. In the future, if this expands into what we hope it will for the area, it's likely that a service center of their own could be put together.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Weller.
Thank you.
We'll take these up separately then. So I'll entertain any motions with respect to item E1, which is the services agreement.
Motion to approve item E1.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second on E1. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Item E1 passes, and then E2, Ms. Hilbrick, you want to read it?
Item E2 is a resolution approving a lease agreement with Siddons Martin Emergency Group LLC to occupy a designated area inside the City of Victoria Service Center located at 1102 East North Street, Victoria, Texas, 77901.
All right. Thank you. I'll entertain any motions with respect to item E2.
Motion to approve E2.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second on E2. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item E2 passes. We'll move on then to item E3.
Item E3 is a resolution authorizing an adjustment to the contract amount with J.S. Heron Company for the CDBG-DR floodgates and infrastructure project to $5,356,580.
Good evening. Welcome, Ms. Conley.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here to request authorization to make an adjustment to the contract with J.S. Heron Company. A little bit of history on the project, just quickly. This is the floodgates and pump stations project. That was a result of funding we got from the Texas General Land Office through the CDBG disaster relief, and it was post-Hurricane Harvey funding. The project was awarded in January 2020. The third bid letting that we did in March 2022, we awarded at $2 million over the approved grant budget. And at that time, we asked council to authorize a change order to adjust the project to closer to the approved construction budget, which we did. It was a lot of work, coordination of effort with the GLO, our grant admin, the engineer, to make sure that the changes that we made didn't change the benefit to the area. And so now that we're finished with the project, hooray, we just need to make this adjustment. The difference is about $353,000. But actually, the great news about that is that it's going to be even less than that the city will have to actually have in cash, because we got $175,000 from the GLO to put toward this. That reduces that further to $177,000. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Conley. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate the information. Then I will entertain any motions with respect to item E3.
I move we adopt E3.
All right, do I have a second? I've got a motion and a second on E3. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, E3 passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item E4.
Item E4 is a resolution authorizing an application to the Natural Resource Conservation Services Emergency Watershed Protection Program for financial and technical assistance to repair erosion damage in the west outfall Staten Avenue Bridge area in an estimated amount of $949,992, with the city's required to match 25% of construction costs.
You're still at the plate, Ms. Conlon.
That's right. That's right. Well, Ken backed me up on this one. Because it was because of Ken and TxDOT that we are able to apply for this funding that's going to help us repair erosion at the west outfall, which, as you know, is right at the bridge as you're coming off of State and into like the parking lot of the pump house. In January 2024, there was a lot of flooding that caused damage in that area, like erosion damage. The aprons on either side of the culvert are completely broken up. And that's allowing for further erosion to happen as flooding happens. TxDOT noticed it. They asked Ken, or they notified Ken about it. We went and looked at it, and Ken has connections with NRCS and called them and asked them to come out and have a look and see if they could help us technically and financially. So you can see here where the bridge is and look how, I mean, it's completely broken up. Like the aprons are just completely broken up. And so, in order to make sure that this doesn't continue to be a problem during flood events, NRCS has agreed to help us, so we will apply to them for financial and technical assistance. They've already provided a plan for the recovery, like what they think we need to do to fix it. They've given us a statement of work and a preliminary cost estimate, which is, the total is almost $1 million. And NRCS is going to cover, according to what they've told us right now, is 100% of the funding for the technical assistance. And then the construction portion would be a 75-25 cost share. Right now, that looks like $662,000 for NRCS and $220,000 for the city. And this shows what exactly it is they're planning to repair. They're going to put the aprons back on either side of the culvert, but then they're also going to do a lot of riprap shoring up along the inside curve of where the water comes in there. And I think that's it, yeah. Did you have any questions for me or Ken on this?
One question I have, will this necessitate shutting down that bridge for any period of time while the work is done?
No, it shouldn't. It's mostly going to be on either side. The hard part is going to be getting that equipment down in there. And we've already got in contact with a consulting engineer who did the last repairs, if you'll notice, the one across from the golf course. And they did that, and the one over by the water pump station. Contacted them, they've already looked at it, and they're working on getting a proposal. The good thing with NRCS is what you saw funding-wise, cost-wise, is that's a rough cost. And as we work on getting engineering costs, we could submit that, and there's potential to get more of it paid as we move forward. This is just the application. We'll bring back to you the actual contract with NRCS later.
Do we have any idea of timing on how long it takes them to process those applications?
It does not take long. They've got a 220-day project timeline for, you're going to laugh, completion, design, construction, the whole thing. They know that's not realistic, so there's always an extension process. But why we're moving quick on a proposal is to get this thing moving so we can get it engineering design, get their approval, and get a contract with NRCS.
Okay. Any other questions? It certainly looks like a project that we need to pay attention to. I appreciate you finding this avenue for us. Yeah. So then I will entertain any motions with respect to item E4.
I move we adopt this item.
I second it.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item E4 passes. And that takes us to our final action item, which is item E5.
Item E5 is a resolution appointing or reappointing members to the Planning Commission.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The resolution before you tonight will appoint or reappoint members to the Planning Commission. Is this going to make tonight report? Sorry. Be just a moment, I'm sorry. That's okay. Oh, that's not mine. That's one. So the purpose of the Planning Commission is to organize and exercise control over the platting and subdivision of land that regulates platting and subdivisions of land within the city and the 3.5-mile extraterritorial jurisdiction, so the ETJ. The commission meets monthly, and they review the submitted plats and variance requests. Sometimes the variance requests actually do end up here at council. If the variance is not requested by the commission, not passed by the commission, and the commission's duty is to approve those plats that meet the requirements detailed in the city code. So they can't just make decisions or approve or disapprove plats or variances based on their own discretion. They do have to follow what's considered in the city code. So the commission is made up of 9 members. They serve 3-year terms, and they may not serve more than 2 consecutive 3-year terms. If an appointee fills a vacancy, which one of the appointments tonight is a vacancy, they may serve 2 full terms if the appointment had less than 18 months remaining. So the current members are Rebecca Spears, Brian Olguin, the vacancy, David Brown, Cynthia Staley, Dr. Derek Hunt, Victor Mendoza, who we heard from earlier this evening, Dan Mikulinka, and Monica Rodriguez. So we have a total of 4 appointments to do tonight. The 3 appointments will expire in August of 2024, with a new term ending in August of 2027. Those are the 3 full-year terms. And those 3 members are interested in being reappointed, and they are eligible to be